Yo, AMC, what is up? Here we go, guys. Here we go. Oh, man. AMC breaking out, finally.
It's so cold in here. Honey, would you come in? I just wanna take you for a spin, round and round, drawing circles in the carpet. It's a little cold when you're gone, but I think that I can handle it. Just don't go too long. Just don't go too
This right here, guys, is the point of interest of AMC. We are entering it right now. Volume is kicking in. We are in the projector, and there are like 20 patterns I'm tracking right now that are all calling for upside. So I'm excited, bro. I think this is the breakout. I think we're headed up.
Just don't go too
All right, let's look at some of the patterns. Let's look at some of these patterns and talk about it.
Baby, when you come back, you don't have to know. You can just
Make sure you guys drop a like.
inside. You're always welcome.
It's about to get interesting up in here. Okay, why am I bullish on AMC right now? So on the Discord, I've been saying this a lot. Okay, we are currently in a arc formation, and one of the things we talk about in the Discord, there's 6 patterns that we track for upside. Really, in the markets, there's 6 patterns that basically just make these macro formations, and the cycle likes to repeat. So I break these down in 6 patterns, and one of them is the arc, right? And the arc formation is pretty simple. It has where it starts initially has one micro POI. You can call it a macro POI, whatever it is, but it's the highest initial run, followed by 3 a triple top setup, which then turns into a breakout or a fake out, right? In this case, we have a breakout. This is a confirmed breakout. Very quick, volatility starting to kick in. And I'm going to show you guys some patterns that show this. So, to start with, we have Ethereum Classic. All right, and I've shown many patterns before on the previous videos. But this is one of them that I think this is the one that we're going to follow here, because it calls for the initial upside here, going upward towards that $10 to $11 range. It creates a hovering projector. You guys know how the projectors work. That is the last chance you basically have to get in before the stock continues to run. And all of these line up with the POI we're tracking here, which is early October going into the 23rd, I believe. So we just entered the POI. And here's the arc. Here's an example of an arc formation, right? Ethereum Classic did this back in 2021. Here's one. We got a triple top setup. Here's the hovering projector, and then the volatility zone kicks in. Okay? So here's one. We also have AMC. This one I've been tracking here for a little while. Following the run-up we had in 2020, we have the little projector, and then the POI right here, October 4th. We also have Bed Bath & Beyond. And we have CGC. CGC was calling for upside a little bit earlier, but now we're starting to see that play out here. So there's a little bit of a gap. But all of these guys have the same, basically the same formation. It's just, I guess one would call it maybe like a wedge or something, like a wedge breakout, descending wedge breakout. AMC did 4 instead of 3. If we did this, I think it would probably make a little bit more sense here on this one. But CGC, and then we also have Carvana. Carvana was one of the bigger ones here that this was, because it was a fractal and we were taking this from the daily, basically the daily time frame. Yeah, there's a lot of room for delay here in some of these gaps that we have, but the levels are basically the same. This thing came down, did a wedge, and now we have a breakout happening here. We have Tilray. I mean, I can go on, guys. We have Tilray. We have COSM was the other one. Okay, calling for upside October 10th. We have Plug, NVAX, OSTK. Lucid was another one as well. These are more macro setups, but the ones that we're tracking right now are all micro setups, so that's why I like them. All right. Man, so many fractals up in here. All right, let's take a look at the intraday chart because that is what is the action right now. AMC is climbing up 837. It looks like we're making a little projector pattern on the way up. Yeah, a little hovering projector. Love it. Okay, so this is what I'm going to do, guys. We're going to take another couple of patterns here, try and break and see what we got going on. I'm going to take Ethereum Classic. AMC's headed up, man. Look at how much volume is coming in. Here's the breakout. For those in the Discord, you guys know what is up with the breakout we were calling for here. Okay, so I was on the hourly chart on the changes indicator. We have a like this is a breakout right here. Coming from, so this is the first breakout projector. We have a bounce. Not only that, but we also have breakout right here and a clear bounce on supports. This is the fourth test on the way up. What we said was that once, because the bounce here is basically confirmed, this was calling for at least a 30% move to come up to the previous highs. You can see right here, it always gets rejected on this level. So this is a range we need to track for a trigger, because once it crosses through, this can very easily go higher because it's been rejected 3 times already. If you look at the price, I'll show you guys the points at which it got rejected. So we have August 17th, rejection, comes down. We have September 6th, rejection, and then we have September 14th, rejection. So if we come up to that range here, 30%, again, the price would be at around 1050. If we get rejected, that's a projector right there. The first projector you need for a continuation here, bro. Here on the hourly chart, we have a nice green candle. As long as it doesn't get rejected here, we should see I was saying today, if volume kicks in, if we start to see more volume kicking in, I don't see why we can't see the $9 level. Let's go on the daily chart. Yeah, dude. Yeah, maybe even 950. You guys were like, XRP did something similar yesterday. Kind of weird. But XRP had a massive pump, and then it just kind of like traded sideways from there. You can see it right here. Trade sideways. Starts kind of coming down. Yeah, October is going to be fun. October is going to be fun. I said this about August, and right now it was like August up, September down, October up, November down. I mean, it's just like back and forth. I think October is the memes and crypto. Crypto's going to, in my opinion, I think crypto's going to have a rally. Tracking a lot of plays right now. Look at this, dude. So, all-time low levels on ROC, all-time low. Similarities between March 2020 and now. For that reason, and we also have a 300% move here in March. So from April to June is 300%. Kind of trade sideways from there, but we don't have to be there in the sequence. Like, guys, sequences they're like, they typically stop tracking at some point. The levels are very similar, and we're probably going to see something similar happen on AMC here, like potentially a 300% move. But from there, things can very quickly turn around for the algorithm, right? And the algorithm then jumps in on another sequence and starts tracking something else. So this can really just keep going. Remember, like most stocks in the market right now that have already gone up from the lows, like Carvana, AI, these guys went a little bit earlier, but they did the same thing, okay? So Carvana went from $400 to $3. AMC basically did the same thing. And then it went from $3 to like $60. So, you know, if Carvana can do it, looking at the fundamentals and everything here on Amy, like the whole Taylor Swift, Beyonce thing that's happening right now, I just don't see why, like, this would go lower. Like, it's just, there's no reason, man. Here we go. We're turning around finally on the ROC here. Let's take a look at the weekly chart, spots indicator. Okay, one of the things I posted about on Twitter was the correlation between this right here on the spots curve. You can see it just rides it down. This doesn't test it as much because there wasn't that much volatility back here. But if we compare it to right now, I mean, look at that, guys. Not manipulating the pattern or anything, but it rides down the same way. In this case, it just keeps riding the curve every time it rejects it. So if this comes back up to the curve, we would be looking at about a 300% move as well. See? Potentially 400% if it comes back and gets rejected there. That'd be about the $40 range. That's the first test, man. When things climb back up, unless you get a repetition of January of 2021, which even then it was a pump and dump and then rode higher, you got to track levels. You know, once it comes up and tests a major level here, which would be around 40, if it does test that, it's likely going to take a breather and then ride for a little bit until the next point of interest. And if it wants to test new levels at that point, then we track those. But right now, we got a parallel channel right here. And we're clearly at the bottom there. So if this does bounce, eventually I would see us coming back up to test anywhere between 70 and 100. But that would take some time. Yeah, guys. So one of the plays on the Discord I've been tracking for a little bit. If you guys remember the Pepe video I made a long time ago, I talked about how if it repeated what Shiba did, it would eventually come down to the same market cap range, which it did, right? It pumped and dumped and was trading down there. Right now, we're tracking a lot of crypto plays because I think there's a lot of potential. But Pepe, let's see. Oh, here's Pepe. Here's my little projection on Pepe. You guys can come back and clip this if you want, but Pepe I think is going to run soon, and I think it's going to run big. I think this is going to be probably one of the biggest plays of the year. It's currently trading at the 70 range. This, I go based on those numbers, 70, and then I'm expecting this to run like basically to all-time highs and maybe even higher because Shiba did this in 2021, and it basically is following the same sequence. Like, I'll show you guys the Shiba one here. Look at how similar these two are. It's just crazy at this point. It followed it all the way through, man. Go back on the video, by the way, when we were talking about Pepe here. And as soon as it got listed on Binance, one of the things I said was, be careful here because this is what happened with Shiba. It got listed and then they rug pulled this coin. It's the same thing they did with Pepe. So I think something's going to happen here in the short term. I'm expecting a move. Anything could happen, but because the markets are getting ready to turn around, I think we're going to see basically a rally in the crypto markets, and then also the memes, right? AMC getting ready to pump. All right, we're riding the blue curve right now. Looks like we have a little cross, but can just bounce and get rejected here if it... We got 30 minutes left in the market. Yo, that alert today, it kind of freaked me out, man. I was like, because it went off, like, for me, it went off 3 minutes earlier. And I was like, I wasn't expecting that. I was like, I'm just gonna go off at, at 120, like they said. Dude, shit goes off like 30 minutes or 3 minutes earlier. Wasn't expecting that, but it was quick, man. It was quick. I would love to see a move up here to 867. That would be ideal. That would be a perfect hovering projector right there. Bitcoin actually did this earlier, so I'm going to take that pattern. It's a good one to track right now. Here we go. But I gotta go on the daily, and I gotta shrink it. I don't know where to put it. There's a couple of different ways you can do this, but I see something like this. Maybe? I don't know, that might be a little too steep. Here's a structure of the pattern. I think with Bitcoins, it's kind of flat. Normally you don't see so much. This just kind of rode up a little bit of an arc, but I think it looks a lot better on AMC's right here, where this little mid phase right here, this is the arc setup I'm talking about. So a continuation here would look something like this, would be a big move, but we'll see. So I mean, I think regardless, this is a good step in the right direction because we crossed a lot of the levels that we were tracking on the ROC, and then also just the price, guys. This is an arc setup, and it crossed up. So as long as things don't just pump and dump here, and this isn't just like some liquidity grab or something, then I believe we're gonna go higher. This band is, it's actually, there's two artists, but it's Golden Suns and Warpaint. Yeah, it's a pretty groovy song. And the song is called Empty. Getting close to crossing on spots. 15 seconds. I like the 15 second. It's pretty neat. A few things, guys, that I haven't updated, but I recently released a few indicators. So now there's one coming out this weekend, but one of them, pretty cool stuff, is this options calculator. So as many of you know, TradingView does not have an option, like they don't have options, so you can't really mess around with the, you can't really mess around, and even like most brokers don't really have this option available, the options calculator. But basically, the way it works is you play around with this. Yes, the numbers are going to be big because of one thing that TradingView does not provide, and that is the implied volatility. So you can get this anywhere, right? If you're tracking on your broker, it's going to tell you the implied volatility if you're playing with options. So I'll give you guys a little example here. And take this as not financial advice because it's not. So I'll give you guys a little example here. We are going to pick a expiration for the 19th of January next year. And I'm going to pick the $12 strike as an example here. So the $12 strike is currently at sitting at 101. Look how drastically this is going to change down here. 101. And the custom target for this, I'm going to say 15 just for shits. Okay. So custom target 12. What do I have? Exit date. Nope, that's wrong too. That's why it is the exit date. Obviously, if it's the same, it's going to be 0 because that's when it expires. So I'm just going to say November, just to be like a little conservative, right? So currently, these are trading at, there's a bid for 83 and the ask is 94. And right now, this is the average, right? It's about 87 cents per contract. So the cool thing about this is that it projects the price at close, right? If we're using the same implied volatility, but most of the time, if it reaches those levels, the implied volatility, if it's been dry, it would increase. So this target here is just a projection, but it's normally going to be higher anyways. So again, current price for these 87 cents. If the price went up to 15 by November, they would be trading at around $4.38. So it's just a cool way to analyze the options market, if you will, on TradingView. So I have this out. I also have one for crypto. The one for crypto is pretty cool as well, except it works a little different, right? Here's the one for crypto. Gives you the similar levels here, or not levels. You can pick a custom entry or not. The target is going to be 10% always for any stock. It's just built into it. But if you put a custom target, you can put your own. In this case, I'm looking for, I think, the 0.40 range here for no, custom entry we'll just leave the same because it's currently at this, and the target is 0.0004. Where is it? Long. Six. Here we go. All right, that's better. So it does the same thing, except it uses the leverage thing, you know, for like Binance, BingX, stuff like that. And you put in the quantity, say, I don't know, $50 or something, and you pick your leverage, and then it calculates the actual margin you're using. So it'll say 50 here, but you're truly playing with 2,000, what is it, 2,500 or something like that. And then it'll tell you your profit, your entry, your exit, and if you are one of those that does the isolated thing, which I wouldn't recommend, then it also gives you targets for like for isolated margin. It gives you the liquidity range for lever. What am I talking about here? The price at which you get liquidated, which is a nasty game. So again, yeah, if you guys want to check this stuff out, man, it's on the website. Click the link below. It'll take you straight there. Anybody on the Discord already gets these, so those are free at use for those in the Discord. Yeah, I'll do a little example. Let's do XRP for fun. Okay, so XRP, say, I don't know, say somebody got in at 0.51. I'm just going to do a custom entry, 0.51. And I don't know, say somebody put in like $200 on 50, and they don't need isolated margin because they have so much cushion available here. So just say the run yesterday, that happened yesterday, went to 0.54 is where it went to. That right there is a 300% move, and there's your profit. Say it goes up to the highs, the all-time highs, which this is not it. All-time highs are at $2. So you just update the custom target, $2. It'll tell you the return there is 15,000%. But remember that this is with leverage, right? You can do this if you don't want to do the leverage calculation, just do one. And then that's just going to calculate it with nothing, right? Just 1x, which is like spot. So 292% on that from that, but a lot of people, I think, more conservative would be somewhere around. I mean, actually, conservative is like 5, honestly. Anywhere from 1 to 5 is conservative. If you're somebody with, but really the whole leverage thing is just you can still, like, you can use 50x if you wanted to and just use less quantity, and it would basically be the same thing. So it's just, playing around with it and stuff is going to give you a different, just a little different profit, different percentages and stuff like that. But yeah, fun stuff, guys. Check that out. Yeah, no, the leverage game is a big money-making machine for these companies because that's the thing about crypto, guys, and that's why I always tell people, like, personally, like, I don't like using isolated margin because that is just a recipe for, like, this is what gets them the money. They know where where these stop losses are and stuff in the market. And, one of the things I had yesterday, too, I had a stop loss for Pepe at 0.69, man. And this thing went to 0.6898. So I'm telling you, they know where the stop losses are. And it's a liquidity machine. These guys are consistently pumping and dumping to liquidate. And really, all you got to do here is track a trajectory. That is the goal, is tracking a trajectory on these and following that trajectory, because this thing could do this the entire time, and it's still going to go up, but it's just liquidating everybody on the way up, basically. So that's why, I try and track the compared to options, because there's no expiration date for future contracts, perpetual futures. So the game here is basically trying to get the bottom and trying to get these liquidity grabs that happen very quickly in the markets. This is really where the money is at, because they do it so fast. By the time you get in, the risk is just less at that point, and you're just riding the wave up. One of the things that I use to track this is Volt. Volt is another indicator that I made, and this one is, in my opinion, the best at tracking this. Here's an example, guys. Just pulled this up here, and it called the absolute high on yesterday's run for XRP. The absolute high, and then from there, it goes down, right? And then it's not coming back up. So these tools, this tool specifically is made for liquidity. Here's another example. Another low right here. See, it gets rejected, comes back one more time, and then it starts coming down from there. So I think that this is the game these guys play. It's just constantly liquidating people. You can play around with the time frames. I use it on the minute chart, and I have it set specifically to the 2% mark, which is the 50x liquidation level. And every time this thing pumps and reaches that level, unless this thing is going to squeeze, it normally gets rejected. All right, let's see what Amy's doing. All right, so Amy fell down here. I think it's making the first, coming down to test the first level of support, but it's still looking really good. I mean, it's up 6% today. Okay, guys, so we got 20 minutes left in the market. Just wanted to come on really and talk about what I think is going to happen here in the next few days, but you'll probably see me live tomorrow. I don't think this move is done here. I think we're going to see something happening soon. So you guys will likely see me tomorrow. If not, I'm probably going to post a video about this covering it a little bit more, but looking for this to sustain these levels right here and bounce. Hopefully it creates a hovering projector so we can start moving back up tomorrow. But you guys, subscribe if you haven't already. And hit that notification bell so you know when I go live. The Discord also has, I post everything on there for times I go live and stuff. So thank you for coming in. I'll see you guys in a bit, hopefully tomorrow. Take it easy. Peace out.